Shalom. Back with part 2. We are Yasharahla. Okay, the princes of the power. Let's continue here. We left off here in Deuteronomy 28 and 49. Okay, that the Lord shall bring a nation against, right, his people, right, because again, we broke the covenant. So, as punishment, he would send a nation against us, that we would have to serve them. Again, people, fulfillment of prophecy, is it not? Because we're reading about it, okay? So, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle. So you know who flies by the eagle, okay? The nation of Edom, all right? The self-proclaimed white man, okay? So whether you're talking about America, NATO, the EU, okay? You understand, people? You know who it is, okay? Now, so a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. There you go, okay? For the northern kingdom as well as the southern, our language was Hebrew, okay? How do we know that? Well, when the Atlantic slave trade, which started with the northern kingdom, when Columbus, a.k.a. Cristobal Colon, came over here, he came with 5 Hebrew interpreters. Of course, that was left out of your textbook. Do you understand now? The 10 Indian tribes that came here. And again, that's in your Bible. All right? Give me a minute. 2nd Ezra 13, 40 to 45. Okay? Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salamazar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, so they came into another land. Right? You understand? And again, prior to reading this here, 2nd Ezra 13, you should read 2 Kings chapter 17, and then this. You understand? So, they took counsel among themselves, and that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, go forth further into a further country where never mankind dwelt. You understand? Because nobody was here in the Western Hemisphere. Nobody was here. All right? So, that they might keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. Okay? And they entered into the Euphrates, right? You see it right there where Africa is. You enter into the Euphrates and go down to the bottom horn of Africa, all right? Make a right turn. And you'll see here, the Lord held back the flood. For the Most High then showed signs for them, right? Held still the floods, right? You understand the waves, all that, till they were passed over. And for though that country, there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half. That's how long it took Columbus to come, from the eastern to the western, a year and a half. How else do we know that proves that? Well, King Solomon had a navy. This is also in your scriptures. And it took them 3 years to get back home. So a year and a half to come here from the eastern hemisphere and a year and a half to get back. All right? So, namely a year and a half in the same region is called Asareth. Asareth, again, according to, the experts, all right? Asareth represents America. You understand? All right? The new land, okay? Give me a minute. So now you people understand the northern kingdom, the 10 Indian tribes, that's the northern kingdom of Israel. All right? But again, that stuff was not meant for you to be learned in school, okay? They didn't want to give stuff away. All right, let's move on here. Let's jump down here to verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee, right? You Israelites, you Negro Latinos and Native Americans, right? Among all people, right? Among all nations. From one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods. Hello, idolatry. Okay? Which neither thy fathers, all right, have known, even of wood and stone. You see that? We'll end this here. We'll be right back. All right? With parts 3 and 4. Shalom.